Last night, police arrested more than 300 people for breaking the 9 o'clock curfew. Angela Ingram explains how the city is preparing tonight for more protesters.
Police Chief Eliot says so far officers are still working 12-hour shifts to make sure that there are enough of them on the streets during the protest. And he said yesterday roughly 300 people were arrested for violating curfew. Police Chief Eliot saying yesterday the demonstrations in parks and the marches were peaceful with roughly 2,000 protesters, and that was in the beginning part of the day. But he says at some point in the afternoon there was a change and there was a clash between some sheriff's deputies and some protesters. He says at that point bottles and rocks were thrown at the deputies and the deputies responded with a chemical irritant. Yesterday at 9 p.m. curfew went into effect, and after that happened, the chief says roughly 300 people were arrested for violating the curfew. Mayor John Cranley says that the curfew is not an option, and he calls this a potentially dangerous situation.
It is dangerous for you to violate the curfew. It is dangerous. It's not just that you can get arrested. It is dangerous. Last night there was a shooting in the vicinity of officers and protesters in the midst of all kinds of activities. So this is not a joke. This is serious.
Approximately 9 o'clock, we saw a portion of the crowd engage deputy sheriffs at Main and Court Street. They began to throw rocks and bottles at the sheriff and his team deployed chemical irritant and munitions, and from that point forward we started to have problems throughout the evening.
The curfew was originally supposed to start at 9 o'clock, but today Mayor John Cranley saying it is pushed to 8 o'clock. He says that will give officers enough time to start to disperse crowds. Angela Ingram, Local 12 News.